Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to be solving the Principle of Accounts paper from October-November 2003, and this is paper 1, variant 2. So let's start by looking at the questions. Let's begin the game. Multiple choice 1. What is the benefit of using computers in bookkeeping and accounting? So how computers are beneficial in doing bookkeeping and accounting. Anyone with computer can access the information, so that's a disadvantage. It is cheap to install, that's an advantage. Large quantities of information can be stored, that's an advantage. Staff requires special training, that's a disadvantage. We are only concerned about benefits. So option A and D are clearly not the answer. Now it's either B or C. It is cheap to install or large quantities of information can be stored. The answer to multiple choice 1 is actually option C, because cheap to install is an advantage in terms of cost. We are concerned about the advantage in terms of use. Therefore, the correct answer to multiple choice 1 is option C. Multiple choice 2. How is owner's equity calculated? So owner's equity is equals to asset equals to liabilities plus equity. This is the equity. It's asset minus liabilities equals to equity. That's how you calculate the equity, right? So we just need to read through the words to find that correct option. So money invested in the business by the owner plus the net current assets, no. Money invested in the business by owner plus the non-current liabilities. Money invested by the business, no, this is incorrect. Total non-current assets, which is okay. Total assets here, and working capital, which is current assets minus current liabilities. But okay, so total assets plus current assets minus current liabilities, less the non-current liabilities. Yes, this sounds very right. So the correct answer to multiple choice 2 is option C. Multiple choice 3. Zafar returned goods bought on credit from Khalid. How was this recorded in Zafar's book? So Zafar returned goods to Khalid, right? So this is actually a purchase. So Khalid is an accounts payable. This will go down, and if this goes down, that basically means debit Khalid and credit purchases return. So answer to multiple choice 3 is option A. Multiple choice 4. In which book is a credit note from a supplier entered? So credit note comes when there is a purchase return. So therefore, the answer to multiple choice 4 is actually option B. Multiple choice 5. Ashraf owed Yasmin $2,000 for goods bought on credit. After deducting cash discount of 2.5%, Ashraf paid Yasmin. So A paid Y at 97%, 97.5%. So 2,000 times 97.5%. So this is what has been paid. This is what has been paid by Ashraf. So if we calculate this amount comes as 1950. That means 50 is basically discount received by Ashraf, or A. Which entries record this in Ashraf's book? So Ashraf received the $50 discount, right? And Ashraf paid 1950. So it would be actually answer D. So the answer to multiple choice 5 is option D. Debit Yasmin 2000, that's the accounts payable. Then credit bank because you paid 1950, and then credit discount received of 50. A bank statement showed a balance at bank of 3,200. The value of unpresented check was 1,200, so minus 1,200, and the value of uncredited deposits was 700 and plus 700. So what was the debit balance in the cash book? And that's how you will calculate the debit cash balance. We start with the bank balance. Deduct the unpresented checks, and then add the uncredited deposits, right? So 3,200 minus 1,200, 3,200 minus 1,200 is 2,000, 2,000 plus 700 is 2,700, 2,700. So answer to multiple choice 6 is option B. The following account appeared in a trader's ledger. Equipment account always has a debit balance. On 31st July, it has a balance of 4,000 on the debit side, and then on August 2nd, you purchase another equipment which costed you 7,500. So the total balance at August 2nd, that's what the question is asking, would be 4,000 plus 7,500. That is 11,500. The answer to multiple choice 7 is option D. Why does a business prepare a trial balance? To calculate the profit and loss? No, for that we prepare income statement. To check the arithmetical accuracy of the ledger? Yes, that's correct. The answer to multiple choice 8 is actually option B. To check cash and bank balances, you check bank statement. You don't prepare trial balance for that. Even the trial balance will give you a bank balance. To show the financial position of the business, for that you prepare financial statement called balance sheet, or statement of financial position. So the answer to multiple choice 8 is actually option B. Multiple choice 9. Ashraf sublets part of his premises for $100 a month. At the end of the financial year, the tenant paid rent totaling $1,000. Which entry would Ashraf make to record the transfer to the income statement? So Ashraf is going to transfer this money to income statement, not $1,000, but that's actually going to be 1,200 because a financial year is for 12 months, not for 10 months. Even though he only received $1,000, but we follow accrual accounting, not cash accounting. If we were following cash accounting, then yeah, this amount would be correct, but we follow accrual accounting. So Ashraf has to record transfer of 1,200. So therefore it would be debit the rent and then credit the income statement, because this is an income for Ashraf. This is a rent income for Ashraf. So the answer to multiple choice 9 is going to be option D. Multiple choice 10. In December 2012, Emma paid insurance $30 in respect for January 2013. So this is prepaid. This is prepaid insurance. How would this be shown in 2012 financial statements and in the insurance account in January 2013 and in the insurance account of January 2013? So on January 12 financial statement, this is a prepayment. So it's either option B or option D. You can actually come to 50-50 here. Now let's see through B and D. Option B says that on 1st January 2013, insurance account would have a credit balance. No, this is wrong. This is clearly wrong. This is an expense account. This is an expense account. We are standing at 1st January 2013. 1st January 2013. This will be expense. Therefore, it will have a debit balance and then credit balance or prepayment on financial statement of 31st December 2012. The correct answer to multiple choice 10 is option D. Correct answer to multiple choice option. Correct answer to multiple choice 10 is option D. Multiple choice 11, a motor vehicle with a book value of 2,400 was sold for 2,750. How would this transaction be treated by the business? So capital receipt of 2,400, and then of course the remaining is revenue receipt of 350, total 750. The answer to multiple choice 11 is option C. Multiple choice 12, capital expenditure is treated in adder as revenue expenditure. So capital expenditure is now treated as a revenue expenditure. What effect will this have? The balance sheet will not balance. Okay, this is clearly wrong. It has nothing to do with balancing of balance sheet. Expenses will be overstated. Yes, expenses will be overstated because what has happened is you transferred money from capital expenditure to revenue expenditure. You increased revenue expenditure. So therefore, the expenses will be overstated. The answer to multiple choice 12 is option B. Multiple choice 13. What would occur using the diminishing reducing balance method of depreciation? Depreciation charge in year 2 is greater than the depreciation charge in year 1. No. Depreciation charge in year 2 is going to be less than yes, option B. The correct answer to multiple choice 13 is option B. Depreciation charge in year 2 is less than the depreciation charge in year 1. It's not same because it's not following straight line method, and it's not going to be 0 as well, unless the life of the asset is only 2 years or something, but we are not given that information, right? So the answer to multiple choice 13 is option B. Multiple choice 14, a machine was purchased for $100,000 and depreciated by 20% per annum using the straight line method. 3 years later, it was sold for 25,000. So what would be the book value? Book value after 3 years. After 3 years, that would be 100,000 minus the accumulated depreciation. That's 100,000 times 20% times 3. Right, so that is 100,000 minus that's 60,000 to 100,000 times 20%, 2,000, 20,000, 20,000 times 3 is 60,000. So my net book value at year end 3 would be 40,000. So this is my book value. Book value is 40,000. Cash received is 25,000. So it's loss for 15,000. It's a loss of 15,000. That's what we are asked in the question. So the answer to multiple choice 14 is option A, 15,000 loss. Multiple choice 15, a trial balance fails to balance. The difference was entered in a suspense account. It was discovered that purchases return journal had been undercast. This has been undercast. Which entry would be made to correct this error? To correct this error, we would have an entry of debit suspense and then credit purchases return. So the answer to multiple choice 15 is option D. Multiple choice 16, expenses accrued $250 were treated as prepayment in the income statement. What effect did this have on the profit for the year? So expenses accrued be $250. So $250, this would have actually an effect double the amount of overstatement on the profit. So the answer to multiple choice 16 is option B. Multiple choice 17, how purchases can be calculated. So purchases is basically rearranging the formula for cost of goods sold. So if you rearrange this formula, cost of goods sold plus closing inventory minus opening inventory is equals to purchases. Let's find this option. Let's find this option. And there it is. The answer to multiple choice 17 is option C, cost of goods sold plus closing inventory minus opening inventory. Multiple choice 18, BCD Limited provided the following information: ordinary shares of $300,000, retained earnings of $200,000, and debentures of $170,000. How much was the equity and the capital employed? So you see, this is again a repetitive question. It's just testing the same idea in different questions. This was tested in May, June 2012. So you can always look it up. I have already solved these papers from May, June 2012 and October, November 2012. So please feel free to go back to those videos, and you can try to find multiple choice, similar multiple choice in these papers. So how much was the equity? The equity will be just the sum of 300 plus 200,000. That's 500. So A and B are clearly not the answer. It's either C or D. C or D. In capital employed, you will include the $500,000, which is equity, plus the non-current liability, that is debentures of $170,000. So the total capital employed is $670,000. So the answer to multiple choice 18 is option D. Multiple choice 9, Allen's inventory consisted of the following. So similar question in May, June 2013 was already tested. So it's either, so in here you have to use the lower of cost or NRV concept, because it's asking for the value of inventory, right? So let's compare these. For let's say X and Y. For X, we will take the value of $5 cost per unit, because that's less than 7. And then for Y, we will take $3, which is the selling price, because 3 is less than 5. So 100 times 5 is 500, and 20 times 3 is 60. So the total value of the inventory is going to be 560. Therefore, the answer to multiple choice 19 is option A. Multiple choice 20, a trader takes goods from the business for personal use. How is this recorded? Again, repeat question. This is repeat question from May, June 2013. So the entry is very simple. You debit drawings and then credit the purchases. So answer to multiple choice 20 is option B. Multiple choice 21. At the end of the financial year, a trader is owed commission. So that basically means trader will receive commission. How will this be treated in the trader's financial statements? Income statement, increase income, balance sheet, increase assets. Yes, the answer to multiple choice 21 is C. Multiple choice 22. At the end of the club's financial year, some members' subscriptions were unpaid. Where would these unpaid subscriptions appear in the club's financial statements? So these will only appear in income and expenditure and the balance sheet. and the balance sheet. So the answer to multiple choice 22 is actually option A. They never show up in the receipts and payments account. So even if you know that the unpaid subscriptions are not shown in receipts and payment account, you could have immediately crossed out B, C, and D, and the remaining answer is A only. So with the by the choice of elimination, you can still come to the right answer. So the answer to multiple choice 22 is option A. Multiple choice 23, a trader provided the following information. So we have these following information here. Goods are sold at a markup of 25%. What were the purchases? So we have to calculate the purchases. We are given opening inventory, we are given closing inventory, and then we are given sales for the year, and then the markup of 25%. So this 60,000 includes the markup. I can find my cost of goods sold by dividing this number by 1.25. 60,000 over 1.25, that's 48,000. This is 48,000. Now I just need to use this formula to calculate the purchases. COGS is equals to opening inventory plus purchases minus closing inventory. COGS is 48,000. Opening inventory is 10,000. Purchases is X. Closing inventory is 14,000. Right? So 48 plus 14 minus 10, that will give me my purchases. That will give me my purchases number. And my purchases are 52,000. So answer to multiple choice 23 is option D. Multiple choice 24, which does not appear in the appropriation account of a limited company. And that's director's salary. Director's salaries are disclosed. These are disclosed, but they are not on the in the appropriation account. So the answer to multiple choice 24 is option A. A limited company has an issued share capital of 100,000 ordinary shares of $1 each, of which 50,000 are fully paid. There are also debentures of 2,000. On 1st January 2012, the retained profits were 2,500. Profits retained for the year ended 31st December 2012 was 1,600. What was the total of shareholders' funds on 31st December 2012? So we have to calculate the equity amount, the shareholders' fund, and that will only include 50,000 here. Profits, opening profits 2,500, and then the closing profits of 1,600. So if we sum this up, 50,000, 2,500, and then add the 1,600 as well. So that comes to 54,100. The answer to multiple choice 25 is option A. Multiple choice 26. A business provided the following information at the end of its first year of trading. What was the cost of the production? So we need to calculate the cost of the production. It's going to be total of 280,000 plus 110,000 prime cost plus fixed overhead minus the closing work in progress, 16,000 minus 16,000. So 280 plus 110,000. So 280 plus 110 is 390 minus 16, 374. And the answer to multiple choice 26 is option C, 374,000. Multiple choice 27. Mark paid net wages of 5,200 for the month of August after statutory deductions of 1,200. So if I want the gross pay is going to be 5,200 plus the 1,200 is equals to 6,400. So my entry should be debit wages 6,400, credit cash of 5,400, and then credit the statutory deductions of 1,200. So let's search through the, okay, that's there. So answer to multiple choice 27 is option D. Multiple choice 28. What is not included when calculating the quick acid test ratio? Again, similar question from May, June 13. The answer to this one is actually inventory. Inventory is not included in the calculation of quick ratio or the acid test ratio. The answer to multiple choice 28 is option C. So again, I would like to highlight here multiple choice 29 and 30. They are again on accounting principles. In May, June 2013 as well, last two MCQs were on accounting principles. Knowing accounting principles is important. Multiple choice 29. A balance sheet included non-current assets at cost less depreciation. Which principle was being applied? Which principle was being applied? The answer to multiple choice 29 is actually option B, going concern, because if business is not expected to continue, they are not expected to depreciate as well. So if business is depreciating the asset, there is an assumption, underlying assumption, that business is going to be continuing for the foreseeable future. Multiple choice 30. Abdul applies the accounting year principle. Why does he do this? To be able to compare his results with competitors. Of course, the answer to multiple choice 30 is A, because if you don't apply the principles, because if you don't apply the proper accounting year principle, then your results will not be comparable with other competitors, because they would be following the accounting year principle as well. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my channel for more of such videos. Thank you very much.